Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. It's a great morning. We're talking about sex appeal. Last week we began this conversation about partial nudity, and I wanted to find out, moving on from that space, is it a possibility to balance decent with sexy? I think the crazy part of what people choose to wear today is simply because they want to be sexually appealing to the opposite sex. And I'm saying people because I really do not want to say women or men here. Of course, we know the ones who do it the most. But it's not my conversation to have. I have Jumoke Michaels. I'm biased towards women. I introduce her first. She's a broadcast journalist, senior in the business, and she's back here this morning wearing red. Good morning.
Good morning, Tomisin. Good morning, everyone.
And you see my wearing red. I had to hammer it. Wearing red, though.
Red is my best color, so.
And then she's wearing it today. Red is Yinkake's best color, too. I had to force her to stop wearing red every day on the show. She practically wears something red almost every day.
Yeah.
But then she changed. We need to change it,
red
too.
Red is a sweet color.
Really?
Yes.
It's yellow for me.
Oh, yellow.
All right, I have Valentine Gabriel back here also this morning, entrepreneur, a politician wearing a cap that I don't want to mention what is on it, and wearing red as well.
We can't bombard you with red.
I don't get it. They're wearing red.
Bombarded with red from all sides.
Like you want me to be gentle? I'll be gentle because I'm wearing red. Good to have you back here this morning.
Good morning. You're looking beautiful yourself.
Thank you.
And Jumoke, you look dashing.
Thank you, you too. Thank you.
Nice to be here again.
It's a pleasure having both of you wearing red.
Trust me, it wasn't planned. I was surprised when I saw her.
Did Bros come with you?
No, he didn't come with me.
Before I enter serious trouble, so that I both of them are wearing I don't understand.
I mean, it just goes to show that it's going to be an interesting day.
It's going to be just even an interesting conversation because it was Jimmy and I were brainstorming yesterday. Were like decency, sex appeal. Let's just see where should it meet? Where should it meet? But I think we should begin with the man on the table today. Can decent be sexy? Is the question.
Absolutely, yes. Before I walked into the studio, I was having a conversation with a female friend of mine, and she was like, "Look, Val, what do you guys really want? Do you guys really know what you want?" And I said, "Of course, yes." Oh, yes. You see, the truth is, do you know that you as a man, if you don't have your shit together, is also a turn-off for some women?
Yes.
And that's an appeal for some women.
Yes.
Do you understand it? And of course, when you look at, I'm talking from the guy's angle now.
Yes.
Sex appeal, for me, transcends the way you look or the way you're dressed. When you're intelligent upstairs, when you have that intellectual acumen, for me, sexy. I'm drawn to you immediately. Do you understand it? Do you get it? So it's neither here nor there. It's not about how you look, because at times you can be decently dressed and then you'll be very sexy.
Decently dressed and then you'll be
absolutely.
Doesn't that mean it's because you're sapiosexual? Because a lot of people would also say, that's him now. The more the flesh, that's. As a matter of fact, what is sexy to you begins here.
Yeah.
Jimmy, do you agree?
To me, sexy, before we even talk about that word sexy, I think I would like to start with the word decent.
Okay.
All right, so decent, when you talk about decent dressing, from my research, is two ways. All right, so the first way is decent dressing. Decent dressing is dressing according to a function, a culture, or beliefs.
Okay.
In a non-revealing manner. Do you understand? So that means if you're dressing according to like culture, you do it like cultural, in a non-revealing manner, you're well covered, and all that. That's decent, you know. But there's another part of it which they call proper dressing. You know, you say, oh, this girl is properly dressed.
Yes.
Now, being properly dressed has to do with your surrounding or an occasion. Okay, like a sports person. You know the way they dress skimpily.
Yeah.
When you're going to
The field.
as an athlete. Okay, now being dressed as an athlete, does that mean you dress like that to a mall?
Definitely
No.
not. Except you're coming from the field and then you branch out the mall.
No, but you could put on
An overall.
an
or something.
overall or a long jacket to cover your or maybe a swimmer, you're going to swim, or maybe you're going to the beach. You know the way we dress skimpily
To the beach.
to the beach.
And then you get to the beach and,
And
then
when
you're
you
wearing.
get to the beach, no, or maybe on your way to the beach, you need to stop somewhere, and
you're
then you
okay.
get into that place the same way you want to dress on the beach.
Have you seen people wear
Now, if you dress like
swimsuits
that to the beach,
supermarkets?
Swimsuit.
yes,
seen it
now
before.
that's what I'm saying.
Swimsuit to supermarkets.
Swimsuit to a supermarket.
I used to look for the beach there.
So you see that
water.
it's a proper dressing to the beach, but it's not a proper dressing
Listen
to the.
supermarket.
Supermarket.
So you look decent in that environment, in the beach environment, but
Environment,
indecent. So you see where even being decently dressed also have to
The
do
different
with
sides
your
to it.
surrounding.
Yeah.
Or like a woman who likes to tie a wrapper on her chest at home. For that surrounding, fine. But you have to take that outside your home.
Especially when your kitchen is at the backyard.
No, at least that's still probably. Let's just look at it as the
those are
home.
the ones-
That could still be the home surrounding.
the-
Yeah, if you live in a face me, I face you.
Okay, face me and face
If you live in a
you.
face me, I
But
face you
then even if you
environment.
live in a face me and face you compound,
Yeah,
you should know that when you tie wrapper, it's an indecent way of dressing. You know, these are people I refer to as skegbenje. You should know what to do part time. There are dresses that should not leave the confines of
of
your
your
bedroom.
room.
The moment you take it outside of that area, then I mean you're calling for something else.
All right, so that's for decent. You know, you can see
Yeah.
that decent.
There are different sides to
decent
even being
dressing.
decent.
Yeah, exactly. So when we go to sexy dressing or being sexy, is showing much skin. You know, when you show much skin, showing places like your midrib, like we said last week, your breast, your bum, and all that, is that when you want to draw attention to your best physical attributes. Maybe your best attribute is your shoulder. You want to dress to reveal it, or it's your midrib,
Or the
or
laps.
your laps. You know, so that's why you see them wearing short things. You know, to show your beautiful legs. You know, there are some people that their legs can be.
That's the sex appeal.
So you know, so that's where the sex appeal is. So you want to dress to showcase your best attributes, or maybe you have a very beautiful figure, so you wear tight dresses or skirts,
Just to
so
make
that-
sure
just
it
to make sure that
accentuates
part
those
of you
curves.
is,
Yeah.
you know. So that's the sexy part for me. And then being sexy really is also not about the dress,
Absolutely.
but how the dress is worn. Because if you have a dress that maybe if you wear it ordinarily, it will show a lot of cleavage. You could wear a camisole.
But the purpose of making the dress to show a lot of cleavage is to show the cleavage.
That's why I say that it's not really the dress,
It's
how
you
it's
choose to
worn.
wear the dress.
It's
There are
also-
some dresses that are really short. They are a dress, but then you wear a legging
Or maybe a panty
or
or
a
something.
pantyhose or something, you know, to just. So that's.
It's also very important to note that our dressing reflects our personality.
Yeah.
Because there's a popular saying that the way you dress is the way people address you. So you see, you can dress nicely and then you're appealing to everyone. In fact, let me tell you something. Do you know that when you're properly dressed, people you don't know, strangers even want to greet you. They just want to associate with you because of the way you're dressed. But when you dress in such a provocative manner that you begin to wonder, is this place a nightclub?
Yeah.
Then there's a problem. And then you want to ask the question, what are the causes? Why do people? Because at times, some of these people don't even know. It is due to peer pressure, or they want to feel among or trend. They just dress anyhow, thinking every man. No, not every man. Who cares? Because for me, if you dress in a way that you attract the wrong people to yourself, but when you're properly dressed, no riffraff would even have the guts to walk up to you and talk to you. But because of the way you are dressed, they're like,
it's like opening up the door.
do you understand? He's one of those people, let me, do you get it?
And I feel so sorry for this young generation, because maybe because no one really talks about dressing. There's really not enough dress education for this generation, because they tend to not have an idea of how to dress appropriately per time for different occasions. Is where I'm going a formal environment, or is this a formal event? Is this an informal event? So that you'll be able to draw the line in how you dress to that place.
Have you gone for people's weddings before?
Weddings have become like a strippers event now.
So I feel like this is someone's wedding.
Yeah.
And then you come for the wedding. You're dressed practically in scarves sewn together in the same mattress. So I'm wondering, did we contribute pieces of the same cloth that we all bought for you? Is it that you collected your own in, half strips, and then you now joined it together somehow, and then you wore it? Or is it that you bought it with your? Because I do not see the sense in buying a material that will cost you as much. You know how they sell actually?
Yeah.
Buy for 15K, sell at 30K. So you buy a material for 30K, and then you cut it. You strip it into pieces. But you know what I discovered? So there was a function I was involved in planning last year, and we sold Ashwebi. And when we got to the point of entry into the venue, the Ashwebi was supposed to be the ticket to enter. We knew that we didn't sell more than 90 pieces of female attire. This is a 1,500 people's event. Okay. So imagine that we sold like over 700 men, but the women was just 90. And it was supposed to be husband and wife. You get that kind of. So very few singles bought the material. Lo and behold, these ladies came. All of them were wearing ashwebi. How? The cup of, just imagine, from here to here of one ashwebi. The rest, no. One, the sleeve and one part like this.
Ashwebi. The remaining part will be plain material.
Different materials.
So shared it that way.
So I began to wonder, you bought two and like 20 girls shared it. How? Do you get, what did they make with it was the problem. So they made, just imagine, just scarves put together for somebody's father's burial. Scarves. It looked as if they just mistakenly left the house.
You see, the truth is, I have a problem with things like this because we encourage it.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Because you see, I've always reiterated that the reason you see these people keep doing this same thing all over again is because there are no people
and get away with
to condemn them. Yeah. In fact, let me tell you the truth. I can't organize a party to honor my father or mother, and you dress in to come and seduce who? You are not going. I won't allow you into that venue until we start taking these measures. We'll keep having. And let me tell you, a background search has shown that most of these people, I'm sorry to say, most of them are badly raised, and they are the people that, in most cases, in recent years, that people, the educated folks and decently raised people now follow them, even on There's one on is Instagram, one of these Instagram star. She's always talking about marriage, how married women should behave in their homes. Meanwhile, you don't have a marriage. And I keep asking people, do you give what you don't have? You can't give what you don't have. And guess what? The kind of people that follows are highly educated women.
Yes.
And then you begin to answer, I mean, your certificate is questionable. How come you should? Now, let me tell you, for every badly behaved individual, there are 1,000,001 decently raised one. Why not look for that one and follow that person? Why must it be this one? Yeah,
But
because
do you know that those are the ones that trend?
that's what I'm saying.
Because of the way the society is already wired
Do you
now.
get it? So there is need for us. So for me, it should be a great reawakening. It should be a reorientation of the mindset because our psyche have been badly damaged.
But then there is this thing they call peer pressure. And unfortunately, when we were growing up, they say it used to affect teenagers and younger people. Now you see elderly people, 50s, their 60s,
That is the problem.
who are
That's the
still
problem.
being
That is the problem.
pressurized into misbehaving
That's the
by
problem.
their peers.
It's all about, like you said, mindset. Our mindsets have been badly damaged, badly ravaged. You know, by so many things that we see, like I said last week, that we don't know where to draw the line. And you know that so many things that happen in the society now, especially the issue of promiscuity, all comes from this issue of wanting to look sexy.
Absolutely.
Because it gets to a point where you begin to lower your standards
As a person.
as a person.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to fit.
Because you're trying to fit into one kind of mold. You begin to lower your standards in everything. Before you know it, as a married woman, you're already keeping boyfriends. Because your husband might not be able to give you the money to live that
That's
kind
standard.
of life. So you begin to look for extra money outside to be able to
Cater to those
cater to
extra
those
needs.
extra things. So you see, this level of promiscuity we have is one of the disadvantages of this drive for sexiness.
No wonder you
For
said.
section, for indecency.
No wonder you said
Indecency.
you pity the younger
The standards
generation.
have dropped too much. So how would you blame the younger ones, even when the adults cannot even contain themselves? It's a very, very sad situation, very sorry situation we have out there.
Unfortunately, our children go to school with everybody. Our children go to class.
And then it also brings competition.
Undue competition.
Undue competitions.
You now want to be like, how can this person have more than I do? Competition for what?
You know, there's also this trend these days that every woman wants to slim down. You see, I was having this
They're
conversation.
not wanting to sing that.
No, I'm telling you. Yeah. So I was having this conversation and I said to her, I said, look, listen, let me tell you. Some of us men, we like them voluminous. We like, do you understand? We like flesh.
Some flesh.
Do you get what I'm saying? So you see, the thing is, like
We don't
you
want
said-
bony women.
excuse me.
Because I need to clarify. You're saying you want a very, very.
I said
You said some men.
Some men. They love when their women are fleshy.
Fleshy.
Do you understand? They have
Okay.
something to grab. Why some of us we like them slim shady. Do you understand? So you see, the important thing about life, I think, is be contented with who you are. Because in the process of trying to look for what is not part of your
DNA.
body anatomy, some of them lose their life in the process.
And those who don't lose their lives look for money at all costs
Because you have to maintain it.
to get it. So I'm wondering, okay, so
Decency. But when we want to talk about decency,
my
you know, the thing that you need to do first of all is that even know what fits you
as a person.
as a person. Know your body, what fits you, because at the end of the day, so many of the things they wear don't even fit them.
You know.
It's like an eyesore.
You know.
Let's support.
Even the so-called sexy.
I'm actually trying to contain
You know?
certain things that I would have said to make sure, it's Tomisin that said it too. Just be looking at the two people.
I said
they did.
I
You can call the line 08064738133 is the number to call. You can send a text message or WhatsApp message. We're talking about decency. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling from?
Mario is my name from Bariga.
From Bariga. Thank you so much for joining us. What do you think?
Another thing is
Irene Sini Sonilojo.
in my 60s and 70s.
Okay.
Why in primary school? When people can come late to the school, they used to punish them.
Okay.
But I always make, even if I make, they will say this one always make. Go. And when police go out for arrest, criminals, when they see you dressing help, even if you are not committing any crime, police can arrest you because of the way you dress. Dressing help. So it's good to dress well in society.
It's good to dress well.
It's a good name. So I thank you this morning for this program.
Thank you so much, sir. Dressing well. And he cited examples of the police, of school. Sometimes, even if you are dressed neatly, you attract the attention of your teachers, and they teach you. They actually treat you differently than other kids because they feel that always neatly dressed must be from a good home, must be well behaved, even when they don't know you. Because of
It's
how
part
you
of those
dress.
criteria those days when they want to draw lists for prefectship.
Okay.
Yes, one of those criteria when you are neatly dressed as a student, they already pencil you that before they even go to your academics and all that. So you see, like you said, which we said earlier on, the way you want people to address you, your appearance first, because that's the first point of call, your appearance, before I even listen to you. For instance, if you're shabbily dressed, I don't even want to have a conversation with you. Even though perhaps you have something on there.
But first impression.
But the first impression is this. Come on, why are you dressed this way? We can't have a conversation. So it is very important that we take it very seriously to always look our best. You can look your best and say be sexy.
Yeah.
You don't have to be
Not overexposed. Not overexposed.
Oh, what are you talking about? When the average person out there assumes, because I'm looking at their mindset, we're talking about mindset before we receive that phone call. The average person out there in the mindset assumes that to be sexy is to be exposed. They put both side by side. They feel appealing is open.
But do you even know that there are some organizations that encourage their marketers
to dress in a certain manner.
Because probably they feel that's the only way you can get clients.
And attract the kind of clients.
You understand? So the fact that so many people are not even getting it right. Some organizations too also need to reassess themselves. Because of what they are pushing into society.
The kind of instructions and conditions of
attached
service.
to a particular position.
Have you gone to a bank before where they relatively...
I didn't want to mention the bank.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from. Please turn down the volume of your TV. Turn down the volume of your TV. All right, thank you very much. Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
I'm coming from Nerma.
Okay, your name, sir?
My name is Evangelist Ifan.
Okay, Ibong. I'll just call you Ibong.
The matter you're discussing is a very sensitive matter.
Sir, still turn down the volume of your TV set. Reduce the volume. You're speaking to us with your phone and not your TV. You don't have to hear yourself from the TV. Thank you very much. Hello, sir.
I'm Mr. Evangelist Ifan.
I need you to call back. Now, this is what you're going to do every time you want to make a phone call on television to participate on a live show. What you do is you turn down the volume of your TV set, reduce it to the barest minimum, and then you speak to us with your telephone and not with your TV. You don't want to hear yourself in the TV. It's going to give you a feedback noise. You want to hear yourself from your phone. Please do make that call again and let's talk about it. All right, Jimmy, you were saying something.
Yes, I was talking about some organizations that, but you,
And you said I
pushed
should
me
not-
to
you
it
said I
ahead
should not
because
mention.
you've already mentioned it. There is the bank,
Some banks.
some banks. All right, so pushing
The shorter the
kind of
dresses, the
people,
better.
the push into the society to
And
market
if you don't have,
and get
do
clients.
you know if you don't have bonbon, you will not
Targets.
go out?
There are some organizations too. There's a way you must look, your body figure.
Your body figure, very important.
Very important.
That's how
Before
you
they can
know.
give you a job.
That's how you know, because then all the marketers are structured almost the same way.
Yes.
Even away from the bank, even the advertising world.
Yes.
We're going to look at most of the content they put out there. It has to be
Sexist.
So, is it not that women are condoning this objectifying?
And it's the women they always use.
That's the thing. Have we not
that are always
submitted
used.
ourselves to be objectified by these
There's
groups of
something
people?
about you, women.
There's something about
There's
us.
something about women. I don't understand it. You know,
It's just the way
the
God
sexualized women, the objectified women, for anything they want to sell Coca-Cola. In fact, at times, I watch some adverts on the TV and I begin to ask, what's the correlation between this advert and this woman? What message exactly?
Are you
But
passing?
of course, I know that they have to always sexualize whatever they're putting out to their consumers. And they feel they need to use.
It's what gets
In
attention.
fact, I think there
Have you
is.
watched these noodles adverts where they say, "Oh, sexy"? You've not seen
No,
that?
there's one funny one I see. I think it's one of these telecoms. They started with a lady, you know, doing this acrobatic whatever. So at some point I said, well, okay, what's this? And now, of course, I love the suspense in that particular advert. So you begin to wonder, what is this? At the end of the day, it was actually an advert for
Data.
data, whatever. I said, so why the lady? What's the acrobatic thing for?
Why not a guy doing that?
So you see our institutions too.
The female gender is really.
We are the endangered species.
No, but we are the receiving end.
So.
How?
Oh yes.
We are the ones they objectify, the ones they sexualize.
See,
we are the ones.
We are actually the victim.
How?
Oh yes.
We are the
Because
ones being stigmatized
they
there.
do that to get at who?
Because the men are the ones who spend the money.
Because
Really?
no
That's
one
it.
the men are spenders. Oh, so because you're spending more. That's
That they easily get attracted to anything that has a woman, this thing in it.
Women appeal.
Do you understand?
I mean,
So we're actually the victim.
who advertises noodles? Noodles with sexy.
Sexist.
But you know it's actually sexy when
Because
you
that's
eat
what
it.
is selling.
I don't get
That's
it.
what is selling.
I really feel that advert is appalling because every time you pick up noodle,
But again, those days I know there used to be the censorship board. All these things go through censors before they put it on. But this I don't think they are.
It's like
Doing
anything
it.
I
goes.
don't know anything goes these days.
hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you calling from, sir?
I'm calling you from Adamawa State. My name is Alaji Umar.
Alhaji Umar, thank you for joining us. What do you think about this issue of being decent?
Thank you very much.
Alhaji, we can hear you.
Madam, thank you very much for the topic you guys are discussing. I think it's a very interesting topic.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. In fact, I'm a first time caller in your line here.
Thank you.
However, I'm a fan to.
Oh my, oh
Can you
my.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Oh, because you're not
Okay,
listening.
thank
with
you.
the TV.
I said I'm a first time caller online.
Yes.
And I've been a fan to your television house there.
Yo,
I've been
thank
watching
you.
More especially the territory section of it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I think, gentlemen, the topic you are making, you are preaching there is very interesting because this time around, all in the name of sexy, being sexy, and so on, in the name of artists and Hollywood, or what we call Nollywood and the like of it, has made our children to be going down the street naked, all in the name of trying to attract men or make looking sexy. But I don't know. Maybe the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholders. That's what people said. I don't see any reason why a woman should sell her personal integrity in the eyes of the public in the name of trying to be sexy. And like somebody just, one of the speakers there just rightly pointed out, that in banks and other areas they try to select set of ladies that look so sexy with figures, so that it should. That's not basic for screening, for God's sake. The most important thing here is have somebody that is going to give you what the public would like. Being so self. Let's make it. If you dress very cordial, it makes you to look lively in the eyes and respected in the eyes of every other person that you are meeting on the side, or at the side of where you are going to meet. So it is very bad for us to allow this to go around, and it is draining the society where we live in. Our children are almost. I had an experience that a little girl in my house was telling me that she saw one of the artists in the television, and she was saying, "Oh, it looks so. Look at daddy, look at that lady." She was calling her private parties often. It looks so insulting.